So what kind of father hates his son for just being born? Emenike was only 10 years old when he realized his father never loved him. In fact, it felt like he hated him. He didn't know why, but the truth, that hatred had roots far deeper than he could imagine. This is the true heartbreaking story of a boy hated by the man who gave him life. Emenike had always wondered, why was his father so cold? So while other kids ran into their father's arms after school, or smiled when their dad waved hands at them in church, Emenike only got stares, silent ones, hard ones, sometimes none. See, at first, he thought it was discipline. He remembered the Sunday school teacher saying, spare the rod and spoil the child. So he thought, maybe, just maybe, this was love. But the older he grew, the clearer it became that his dad was not teaching him a lesson. His dad just did not want him. But what could make a father reject his own child? So many years before Emenike was born, his father Anyanwu was just a small boy in Arochukwu village, Abia State, Nigeria. His grandmother had raised him the best she could. She was old, she was poor, but she was loving. She took him to the farm, fed him whatever they had. But when she lost the use of her legs and later died, Anyanwu was only 7 years old. And from that day on, he became a ghost in his own village, unseen, unfed, and unloved. Doors slammed in his face, he was mocked, beaten, and chased. And at 13, he nearly passed into the great beyond, after being beaten for stealing a handful of crayfish just to stay alive. And at 14, he had had enough. He left the village alone, no money, no direction, just walking through forests, streams, and wild animals. Hungry days and cold nights. Until one day, under a tall iroko tree, eating wild cashews by the stream, a girl saw him. Her name, Ebere. She did not run like others. She didn't scream. She walked toward him and gently asked in Igbo, Biko, iwonye ebe? Which means, please, where are you from? And that moment changed everything. Ebere took him home. Her father, Chief Nonso, an honest, hardworking spare part dealer, listened to his story. Despite the odds, he gave Anyanwu a chance. And that spark between Ebere and Anyanwu from that first day, it never left. Anyanwu worked hard, and 6 years later, he was settled by his oga with a shop. His own shop. And in 2 more years, he was thriving and employing boys like him. And until one day, he came back full of hope. To what? To ask Ebere's hand in marriage. So the same girl who once saw him as a boy beneath a tree will now become his wife. Life was finally beautiful until Ebere went into labor in her 7th month. Complications, panic, tears, and the midwives asked Anyanwu to step outside. He paced, he prayed, he panicked. Then the cries finally came. Yes, a baby boy, but no Ebere. She was gone. And when they brought the baby to him, he turned away. He screamed, he ran. The same ground where he had once found hope now swallowed it whole. And in that moment, something inside him broke. He blamed the child, not because the child did anything wrong, but because in that tiny face, he saw everything he lost. The girl who gave him life, the only person who ever truly saw him. Emenike grew up in a house with no love. His father never hit him, never screamed at him. But silence? Its own kind of violence. Every cold stare, every ignored moment, every father-son relationship and interaction that never happened, cut deeper than a slap ever could. And Emenike never knew why, until one day he found this old photo of his mother tucked in the drawer, and as he stared into that face, something told him, this is where it all began. The love, the loss, the silence. Some wounds never truly heal, and sometimes the people who hurt us are the ones who were hurting the most. But Emenike made his choice to break the cycle, to raise his own children with the love his father never gave him. Because pain passed down doesn't have to stay down. And sometimes the greatest strength is to forgive the scars you never asked for. And if this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's break the silence together. Let's tell more African stories that matter.